Now, you can see that for Plotinus, the architecture of the universe is hierarchical. And here we can summarize now. There's 4 levels. Starting with the lowest, there's bodies, right? Those things that can be broken apart, smashed, cease to be, right? Bodies are the only thing in the universe that can cease to be. Therefore, they are the least real things in the universe. Next, there's the soul, right, which can be fragmented and weakened insofar as attached to the body, but when it ascends or turns toward the intellect, it's unified, it gains in power and tranquility and joy and knowledge. And then above the soul, there's the intellect itself, that level of pure knowledge, this eternal uninterrupted contemplation which we participate in when we see eternal forms. And then above that is the level of the One, that perfect unity, which is so unified that it can't even be thought of in parts. Now here I can give you a metaphor, an image that Plotinus himself gives to put it all together. It's a fascinating image. Think of the One as a geometrical point, right at the center of the universe, right? Not in space, of course, right? We're not talking literal space here. Space belongs to bodies. We're talking about sort of intellectual space. There's this geometrical point. It's the source of all being, of all light. It's like a sun that is all compacted into a geometrical point, a singularity, the physicists might call it. All right, and then there's the world of the intellect, this realm of intelligible form, all those forms of virtue, mathematical truths, all that stuff, all within one realm, all illuminated by that central sun, that first principle from which all things flow. So imagine all these geometrical forms sort of illuminated by the light of that central point. Then thirdly, imagine the soul, the third level of being. The soul, suppose, is like a crystal ball, a hollow crystal ball, revolving around the intellect as its center. Right? This is actually how people in the ancient world thought that the solar system was. Right? They were crystalline spheres which revolved, and the center of this particular crystalline sphere, and we're speaking metaphorically here, is the intellect. The soul revolves around it. And on the outside, the outer side of this sphere, are a whole bunch of faces. And that's our souls, our individual souls, we'd like to call it. Plotinus would say divided souls, right? We're divided from one another because each of us looks out from our own soul at the external world, and we see the external world from a different side, right? Even the people in the room with me are looking at the desk here from a different angle, and we'll see it differently. And of course, people who are in a different room from me will see entirely different things from me. We're all these faces looking outward into that external world, right? And Plotinus now will be the first person who gives us a meaning to this phrase, the external world. And it's a world of darkness, of death, mortality, right? The only things that can die are things that have bodies. And we're all looking at it from a different perspective, and therefore we think we're different. We think that we are many divided souls, that my soul is not in connection with your soul, and that your soul is not in connection with your friend's soul. But that's an illusion, right? We're faced with this mortal world of bodies, the world of darkness, intellectual darkness. But if we could take these faces on the outside of the sphere and turn them around and look into the inside, and this is a key phrase in Plotinus, he uses it all the time, turning into the inside. If we could take these faces and turn them into the inside and look into that intellectual world, we would see that the inner world of all souls is one world, right? We have an inner self for Plotinus, but that inner self is the divine mind. When we turn into the inside, we turn to the world of intelligible forms, to the world of eternity, to the world of eternal joy. That's our inside. We have a common inside, right? It's not like you have a private inner world and I have a private inner world and they never will meet. Our inner world is one world, the world of the intelligible world, the world of the divine mind.